The story begins with a slime tamer named Yuji engaged in a fierce battle against a monstrous creature. Yuji employs a ball of fire to combat the monster, ultimately defeating it. At the end of the battle, he discovers a mysterious red stone. Upon reuniting with his companions, Yuji recounts the encounter with the defeated fire-spitting slime. He expresses his amazement at the absurdity of this event, as it seemed impossible. Despite his initial disappointment, Yuji's fellow tamer friends encourage him, reminding him of his unique abilities. They also receive flowers from Yuji, which they had requested, strengthening their bond. The group's manager, although not entirely surprised by Yuji's exceptional skills, pledges to buy all the flowers. However, a sense of urgency arises when news arrives that over 10,000 monsters are headed toward their location due to the red stone Yuji left behind. The monsters are estimated to arrive within 10 minutes, necessitating the evacuation of the town and its inhabitants. While some are hesitant to accept this dire situation, Yuji proposes an alternative plan, using a dragon bone to harness its fire power. Initially skeptical due to Yuji's simple tamer rank, the group eventually recognizes his potential and agrees to the plan. Preparations for the impending battle begin. Meanwhile, Yuji communicates with his partner, Gold, who handles the transportation of Yuji's slimes. The townspeople valiantly attempt to fend off the approaching monsters. Yuji searches for a powerful spell to both damage the monsters and protect the city. His partner discovers a suspicious person in possession of the red crystal. This person appears to have summoned the monsters. With help, they apprehend the individual and neutralize the crystal. However, the confrontation turns fatal. As the battle unfolds, Yuji's wolf companion protects the group and helps evacuate the town's inhabitants to minimize damage. Yuji deploys a barrier to shield the entire city and then casts a potent spell as a last resort. Though the city survives, Yuji exhausts his magical abilities, resorting to using his life force to replenish his powers. Aware that he must eliminate the monster threat completely, Yuji repeats his spell, obliterating all the monsters. Unfortunately, the effort takes its toll, causing Yuji to collapse from exhaustion. After waking up, Yuji is surprised to find himself being cared for by a girl who thanks him for protecting the city. He's astonished by his own actions, considering that in his past life, he was a mundane office worker. To avoid drawing attention, Yuji refrains from revealing too much about himself and the situation. The next day, he repeatedly suggests that they remain discreet. Later, the general issues a warning that a cursed stone has been discovered in the forest. He wants the stone to be retrieved as it has ties to a secretive organization, which he plans to explain to Yuji later. Upon arriving in another town, Yuji submits a report to the guild. Although initially hesitant due to his tamer status, the girl recognizes Yuji's tracker skills and decides to accept him. In the subsequent days, Yuji forms a team with Rhodys, Tina, and Lisa. Their mission is to locate an earth dragon, a powerful creature that doesn't necessarily need to be eliminated. The group focuses on exploration, with the intention of observing the dragon's behavior and habitat. As night falls, Rhodys suggests splitting up to keep watch in shifts. Although Yuji agrees, he becomes suspicious of Rhodys' motives. Meanwhile, in Yuji's dreams, it's revealed that he arrived in this world after his company overworked him, leading him to encounter a small slime that guided him to a sorcerer's house. Through studying a book, Yuji gained magical abilities and became a sage. He quickly learned to communicate with slimes and gained significant knowledge. Upon waking, Yuji shares that this all occurred a week ago. However, he's informed that his companions have gone missing. Using his slime's abilities to turn them invisible, Yuji tracks down their location and discovers that Rhodys is part of a group that kidnaps adventurers to sell them. Yuji opts for a less destructive spell, freezing the kidnappers' bodies with ice. The girl expresses gratitude for Yuji's abilities, despite him being a simple tracker. However, Yuji is more concerned about a prophecy he overheard from the bandits. When the moon turns blue, a catastrophic event is predicted to occur. The following day, the group continues its quest to locate the Earth Dragon. As the girls express their confidence in Yuji's abilities, he remains cautious not to attract undue attention by limiting his magic usage. Just as the prophecy foretold, the moon turns blue, and a new dragon emerges in the town. They return to the road and coincidentally stumble upon the very Earth Dragon the girls were seeking. Yuji takes charge of the situation, aiming to avoid standing out. Starting with weaker spells, Yuji gradually increases his power until he employs his definitive spell, successfully defeating the dragon by burning it. Returning triumphant, they present the dragon's skull to the receptionist, who is amazed by their success. Yuji is rewarded handsomely with coins and is invited by the boss to a meeting to discuss the appearance of the blue dragon. Here, Father Estelle shares a legend from the church book about a dragon that devastated a continent. The only hope was a divine emissary with powers to rival gods, who defeated the dragon. The boss acknowledges that such a figure likely doesn't exist in their time, but he mentions that 30 years ago, the church attempted to summon this emissary, who should have arrived a week ago. Unbeknownst to the others, this mysterious emissary is actually Yuji with limited options. The boss decides to engage the blue dragon in battle, utilizing all available power. Later, Father Estelle visits Yuji and gifts him a divine relic dagger that focuses the bearer's abilities on its blade. The father insists on its immediate use. At dawn, Yuji faces the dragon, launching fireballs at it, but they prove ineffective. The dragon counters, prompting Yuji to shield himself with a barrier. Yuji advances, wielding the divine relic dagger, and manages to weaken the dragon by thrusting the dagger into it. The dragon is stunned, allowing Yuji to deliver a powerful divine blow by sacrificing his life points. Utilizing the concentrated magic of fire in his dagger, Yuji finally defeats the dragon. In the morning, the boss reveals that according to Father Estelle, the dragon was defeated by someone who mysteriously left the city after defeating it. The boss suspects Yuji's involvement. Aware that he has once again attracted attention, Yuji's friends recommend he visit Ricardo's town. On his journey, Yuji encounters Dreads again, who informs him that the defeated dragons have spawned special mushrooms. Using these mushrooms, Yuji starts crafting potions to restore his magic. Yuji's actions have unforeseen consequences when he saves the lives of triads by dispelling the curse of a cursed stone that had drained the magic from their forest. In gratitude, they offer him white flowers and accompany him as he finishes crafting potions. He delivers the potions and then returns to the forest. Later, he stumbles upon a mysterious town enveloped in fog. The town's inhabitants smile at him and the leader explains that the citizens react this way due to being unaccustomed to visitors, as the town is not Ricardo. Yuji decides to move on, sensing that this place hides something significant. Upon reaching Ricardo's town, Yuji realizes the weather is cold due to the residents being unable to gather firewood. He aids them by cutting wood and protecting their herbs from attacking monsters. In return, the chef rewards him with a hearty meal. During this time, Yuji discovers cursed gold that is linked to the area's magic, causing perpetual snow. He traces the source of the issue to orbs that have been stolen and hidden. Yuji's investigation leads him to a secret area where he uncovers a machine that manufactures cursed stones using the stolen magic from the orbs. This sinister operation is tied to the Blue Moon sect, whose members previously took refuge in the town. Yuji interrupts their plans, stopping them with his slimes and extracting information about the sect's activities. It becomes apparent that they're launching secret attacks. The sect activates a powerful weapon named the Purifying Flame against Yuji using his knowledge of magic barriers. Yuji sacrifices his life points to halt the weapon, dispelling the cold that had plagued the town. The town celebrates Yuji's intervention, commending him for gathering firewood and helping them. The chef rewards him with a delectable meal. However, when Yuji wakes up, he stumbles upon a sect blacklist that contains names of individuals opposing the Blue Moon sect, including his own. This revelation indicates that he has attracted more enemies. Realizing he's being pursued, Yuji decides to travel to the town of Bohemia, known for its armor and monsters. Aware that defeating his pursuers would draw even more attention, Yuji adopts a guise of weakness to throw them off his trail. After successfully pretending to be a simple tamer by staging a fake battle with his wolf, Yuji manages to shake off his pursuers. However, he overhears that his next target is the father of the church. Worried about the threat, Yuji takes action and freezes the church father's cabin using cryogenics. Despite his victory, he wonders why the Blue Moon sect is after him. When the church father arrives in town, Yuji encounters Master Kegel, who requests armor for his powerful slimes. Yuji agrees and also takes the opportunity to embark on a quest involving dragons for special materials. During the quest, they encounter a dangerous red slime resembling a piranha and a pair of lesser red dragons. Eventually, they locate the elusive blue dragon they sought. Yuji and his slimes freeze the dragon to obtain the necessary materials and defeat around 200 monsters in the process. Yuji hands over jewels to Kegel, who crafts armor that enhances his speed and amplifies his spellcasting abilities. Kegel warns Yuji about the potential risk of his immense power destroying the armor. Yuji learns that he can obtain a superior armor by acquiring the Jewel of the Fire Dragon, hidden in the depths of a volcano. He also hears that the minor red dragons are causing trouble, and with his slime's help, he investigates and discovers that the dragons are emerging from a town named Ordario. Yuji takes charge of the situation, capturing the dragons before they can escape. Yuji contacts Triad to inspect the barrels the dragons were carrying. Triad explains that they contain cursed water, likely intended to kill the fire dragon. Triad purifies the water and returns to the forest. Unfortunately, heavy rain enrages the fire dragon. Recognizing the impending threat, Yuji steps in to handle it, as the town cannot evacuate in time. Despite being a water-based dragon, Yuji successfully crosses the first river and freezes parts of it with ice spells to buy time. He then releases a dam, but the dragon still survives. In a desperate attempt, the dragon prepares to unleash an attack capable of destroying the entire town. Yuji uses his most powerful permafrost spell, sacrificing a significant portion of his powers. The spell successfully defeats the dragon, saving the town. For his efforts, Yuji is rewarded with the Fire Dragon's Jewel and a mysterious artifact. This victory marks a significant accomplishment in his journey. The recipient explains that the artificial rain machine angered the dragon, revealing that it was part of the Blue Moon sect's plan. The teacher creates a legendary armor for Yuji using the Fire Dragon's Jewel. Upon reaching the town where the two troublemakers came from, Yuji encounters strange looks and overhears cult discussions about a figure named Walter. Here, he meets Father Stay, who divulges his past and Walter's history. Father Stay founded the Church of the Blue Moon with Walter as one of his most loyal companions. However, Walter's betrayal led to an attack on the church, killing Father Stay's companions. Walter twisted the faith to form the sect of the Blue Moon, believing that extreme measures were necessary to cleanse the world of corruption. Father Stay entrusts Yuji with this information, believing him to be the divine emissary destined to defeat Walter. Father Stay infiltrates Walter's base through a divine revelation, defeats his servants, and confronts him. However, one of Walter's assistants betrays Father Stay by secretly working for the Blue Moon sect, revealing that Yuji is the true divine emissary. Walter transforms into a monstrous form using a machine and attacks. Yuji, aided by his slimes, manages to defeat Walter, who prays to his deity before disappearing. Walter's prayer causes the resurrection of the original emissary of the legend who died centuries ago, a being with the same powers. This emissary destroys the base and ascends to the skies. Yuji attempts to stop him, engaging in a battle with 3 opponents, but struggles against his own abilities. The sage starts saving the world by activating rain-generating machines, infecting monsters to attack the towns they previously visited. The sage's plan aims to destroy the world for its salvation, seeing it from a different perspective. The story shifts focus to the sage's battle against the emissary. While they protect the town, Yuji faces the sage, who demonstrates improved defense. As the battle continues, Father Stay informs Yuji that he can activate divine judgment. The battle between Yuji and the sage reaches its climax as the sun and moon align. Yuji utilizes his divine blow multiple times, immobilizing the sage and leaving him defenseless. Following Father Stay's guidance, they create a barrier to minimize the damage caused by the impending explosion. Yuji strategically places his divine dagger to absorb the explosion's impact, ultimately saving everyone present. After the battle, Yuji slips into the forest, aiming to go unnoticed. Meanwhile, the people celebrate his victory over the Blue Moon sect. However, remnants of the sect remain, and they're plotting to create a new weapon. Yuji continues his journey, arriving in a new town where his reputation precedes him. Recognized as the slime tamer who wields magic, Yuji gains widespread fame. Gradually, the world acknowledges him and his remarkable abilities. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more anime videos.